If you're not already using Google Ads call extensions, these can be a really helpful way to get more phone calls coming into your business from your Google Ads campaigns. It also kind of makes your ads a little bit bigger. You can see this ad's taking up a bit more of the page here because of this extra button at the bottom. And on mobile, this button will be quite large. It'll even show the phone number oftentimes. And on mobile devices, it'll get quite a bit of activity. It's just another quick way somebody can, do a search for something, see your business, go, okay, yeah, looks like they're open right now and they're in my area. Let's go ahead and call them and get in touch, right? So if we come over to Google Ads here and go to campaigns and then assets, I'll just be able to drop down here, click assets. I've actually clicked on call right here, which will filter down to just the call assets, which is basically a call extension. They just ended up changing the name at some point, right? From here, we can see that there is a call extension active, and this is pretty easy to set up. Basically, all you do is click this little blue plus sign right here. That's going to open up a page that looks like this. You can set up the call asset or call extension at either the campaign level, the account level, or the ad group level. If you set it at the account level, it's going to show up on all of the campaigns in the account, or you can have it show up on a specific campaign or even a specific ad group. So maybe you have a campaign for one office in one location in the city, or in the example that we were looking at, maybe you have 3 auto repair shops in Phoenix, Arizona. You might have a campaign for one shop, and you might want to provide one phone number for that shop, and then a different campaign for a different shop and have a different phone number for that shop, etc., etc. Or you may end up doing that at the ad group level. There's different ways to set it up, but that gives you some flexibility to show the correct phone number to people, whenever they're searching. You can choose the area or the phone number code. So this, because we've chosen the United States, it's going to have this structure. If we choose the United Kingdom, for instance, it totally changes the phone number layout here. So just make sure to choose the correct country code first. And then I recommend doing this format here where you put your phone number in like this. At least in the US, you're basically following the example that's here. It would be different in the UK and other places, right? And then there is a conversion action, which there's one set up basically sort of by default, which you can just use that if you want, or you can adjust it. It's not all that important unless you're really into setting up the proper conversion actions and whatnot, but kind of just leave this as the default setting for now. Click save, and then we would start to see our assets show up here. And I'm not entirely sure why this one doesn't have data, but typically you're going to see some things like clicks, impressions, click-through rate, cost, and whatnot on here. This is just kind of an example. I think I probably set this up recently just to show how this works, but either way, one thing to note about these metrics is it doesn't necessarily mean if you have like 10 clicks on this asset, it doesn't necessarily mean 10 people clicked to call you. There is a way where you can add this column phone calls, and that will show you how many calls are coming in. But even then, it's not necessarily people clicking on the asset. It's clicking on the ad when the asset shows on the ad. So like this example here, not every time that this ad shows up will this phone number be attached, this call extension, right? But when this extension shows up on this ad, Google's going to track how many times it shows up, how many times the ad gets clicked, when this asset is associated with the ad, and all the other metrics. And that's going to give this data, to you so that you can understand, okay, and not necessarily like you'd want to optimize for one phone number over another, although maybe in some cases you'd have like a local area code versus an 800 number, and you could see which one is getting more clicks. So maybe your local phone number gets more clicks when it's associated versus the 800 number, or vice versa, depending on if you're advertising in a local area versus nationwide or internationally or whatever. So just be aware that that's a little bit confusing for some people when they see that data pull through, that it's not necessarily people clicking on the asset itself, it's people clicking on the ad when the asset shows up with the ad. So anyways, I hope you found that helpful. If there's anything you did have questions about, don't hesitate to reach out. Just drop your questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to them there.
Look, if you're the type of person that just doesn't even want to deal with Google Ads anymore, then you can always reach out to me. My company is Missoula SEO Geek. I'll leave a link to my website down below, but we do manage Google Ads for different companies in different industries, and you can come learn about what we do, what makes us unique. You can even read some of the testimonials from some businesses that we've taken from 0 to over $1 million in revenue, like this one here. And really just see that, this is the type of thing that's going to explode your business growth. So feel free to reach out. You can always give us a call or contact us through our website, and look forward to working with you.